She's just a friend, she said, smiling like she always did when she wanted to shut me up. But I wasn't smiling. I was staring at the reflection of her phone screen in the mirror behind her, his name flashing again. Ethan, I asked softly, why does your friend text you good morning with a heart every single day? She sighed, rolling her eyes like I'd just accused her of felony. Because he's going through a breakup. Noah, I'm just helping him. Stop being paranoid. That was the night I stopped arguing. And the night I started watching. Noah Carter, 28. Steady job. Quiet life. 1-bedroom apartment I'd worked my ass off to afford. Sienna Hart, 26. Smart, beautiful, stubborn as hell. We've been together 3 years. Lived together for 1. I honestly thought she was the one person who made me believe in forever. Then Ethan came back into her life. He was her childhood friend. She said, moved to our city a few months ago. In the beginning, it was innocent enough. Coffee here, a study session there. Sienna was doing her master's in psychology, and apparently Ethan needed help with his startup stress. But suddenly, she was spending more time with him than with me. Late night calls. Inside jokes. Those soft smiles she used to give me. I tried to talk to her about it. More than once. Sienna, I'm not comfortable with how close you are with him. She laughed. You're jealous of Ethan? He's like my brother. Brothers don't text their sisters heart emojis. Her tone snapped. You're being controlling again. You always do this. Why can't you just trust me? That word, controlling, cut deep. She started using often, and soon her friends began looking at me like I was some possessive jerk who tracked her every move. Meanwhile, she'd be out studying until midnight, coming home smelling like a mix of her perfume and someone else's cologne. The night that broke me was a Friday. She was getting ready for another study session. Tight jeans, full makeup, perfume I bought for her birthday. I asked quietly, you look nice for studying. She shot me a glare sharp enough to draw blood. I'm done with this conversation, Noah. Either trust me or leave. She waited for me to argue. I didn't. Instead, I forced a calm smile and said, you're right. I'm sorry. I trust you. Her shoulders relaxed instantly. She kissed my cheek. Thank you, baby. I'll be home by 10. She left at 6. By 6:05, I dialed a number I'd saved earlier that day. Raymond Clark, private investigator. Ray was a retired cop with a calm voice and a don't-judge-just-document attitude. 3 days of surveillance, he said. If something's going on, we'll know. I paid the deposit without hesitation. Day 1, they met for coffee. 3 hours. She was laughing, touching his arm, looking at him the way she used to look at me. Ray's photos hit me like gut punches, one after another. Day 2, she said she was going shopping with her sister. The photos showed her holding Ethan's hand in an art gallery, kissing him outside the exit. When she came home that night, she dropped shopping bags on the floor and smiled. You okay, babe? Yeah, I said, forcing it. How's your sister? She's good. Found some great sales. I nodded, pretending not to know she'd spent the afternoon with another man. Day 3 was a confirmation. She told me she had a late lab at the university. Ray followed her to a downtown hotel. They checked in at 7:23 p.m. under fake names. He sent me a photo of them kissing in the elevator. I sat in the dark, staring at the pictures, feeling my chest tighten until breathing hurt. 3 years. 3 years of loyalty, of patience, of defending her to everyone. At 9 p.m., Ray texted room 512. They just ordered room service. Wanted to keep eyes on them? I typed back, no. I've seen enough. Then I called my best friend, Tyler. I need a favor, I said. Bring your phone. We're recording this. He didn't ask questions. Where and when? Marriott, room 512. 1 hour. When he arrived, we drove in silence. I wasn't angry anymore. Just hollow. You sure you want to do this? He asked. She made me think I was crazy. I muttered. She told everyone I was the bad guy. I'm done being quiet. The elevator ride felt eternal. My pulse hammered in my ears. Tyler hit record before we even reached the 4th floor. We stopped outside the door. Room 512. I knocked. There was a pause. Then whispering, a muffled thud. I knocked again. Harder. A voice called out. Room service already came. Ethan, open the door, I said, louder this time. More shuffling. Then the door cracked open. Sienna stood there in a white hotel robe, hair messy, lipstick smudged. Her eyes widened in terror. Noah? What? How? I smiled. Thought I'd surprise you at your late lab. She tried to slam the door, but I blocked it with my foot. Nah, I said softly. We're going to talk. Behind her, Ethan appeared, shirtless and pale. Dude, you need to... Tyler stepped forward, camera up. You're going to fight both of us with your pants half off. Ethan froze. Sienna's legs gave out. She literally fainted, collapsing against the doorframe. Ethan caught her, panicking. Sienna, babe, wake up. He called her babe. The irony almost made me laugh. When she came to, I was taking pictures of the room. Clothes on the floor, champagne bottle on the table, a bed that screamed betrayal. She started crying. Noah, please, I can explain. Explain what? I asked, my voice shaking. That he's just your friend? It just happened. We didn't mean to. The PI says you've been doing this for at least 2 weeks. Try again. Her face went pale. You hired someone? You've been spying on me? I actually laughed. Spying? No. Confirming. Because while you were gaslighting me into thinking I was insane, I was just proving what you already knew. Ethan tried to talk again. Look, man. I cut him off. Shut up. I'm not talking to you. You're nothing. Then I looked back at Sienna. 3 years, Sienna. I loved you, trusted you, and you made me the villain. I'm sorry, she sobbed. It didn't mean anything. Cool. Pack your stuff. You got till Sunday to get out of my apartment. Noah, please. We can fix this. I'm done fixing things I didn't break. I turned to leave, then stopped in the doorway. Oh, and Sienna, I said, meeting her tear-streaked eyes. Everyone who thinks I was a controlling boyfriend. You made sure of that. They're all going to know exactly who you are. Tyler followed me out, still recording. In the elevator, my hands finally started shaking. You okay? He asked quietly. No, I whispered, but I will be. That night, I posted one thing online. When she says he's just a friend, but your PI finds him at the Marriott. 3 years wasted. Trust your gut? Fellas. No names. No photos. But everyone knew. By sunrise, my phone was a war zone. 47 missed calls. Dozens of texts. Please talk to me. I'm sorry. It meant nothing. You're ruining my life. How could you do this to me? I'll kill myself if you don't answer. I blocked her number after the last one. Then I called her sister, Rachel, to make sure she was okay. Turns out, Rachel had no idea about the shopping trip. Sienna claimed they'd gone on. The lie cracked right there. By noon, everyone knew. Her best friend, Kayla, texted me. Did you really hire a PI? I replied with one photo, Sienna and Ethan kissing outside the gallery. Time-stamped and clear. Kayla didn't respond. Saturday morning, there was a knock at my door. I opened it to find Sienna, her mom Patricia, and Kayla standing there. Sienna's eyes were red and swollen. She looked like she hadn't slept. Her mom, though, had enough fury for the both of them. How dare you put my daughter through this humiliation? Patricia hissed. You hired someone to follow her around? You're sick. I pulled out my phone, opened the same photo, and held it up. Your daughter's a cheater. I didn't humiliate her. I exposed her. Kayla flinched. Patricia's voice rose. Everyone makes mistakes. One mistake. I laughed. She's been lying for weeks. And when I asked for honesty, she told everyone I was controlling. Sienna finally spoke, her voice trembling. Noah, please. I know I messed up, but I love you. I panicked. I didn't know how to tell you. You looked pretty calm holding his hand. I said flatly, it wasn't serious. You checked into a hotel under a fake name. Sienna, that's serious enough. Her mom jumped in again. You're being cruel. She's trying to make it right. She should have thought about that before making me the villain. They gathered her things while I stood by, arms crossed. Every item she packed was another memory. Our photos, her books, the mug she always used. When she reached for a framed picture of us from our first trip, I stopped her. That stays. Tears streamed down her face. Please, Noah, I'll cut him off. I'll go to therapy. I'll do whatever you want. What I want, I said coldly, is for you to leave. Patricia glared at me as they carried the last box out. You'll regret this. You'll never find another woman like my daughter. God, I hope not. Kayla lingered in the doorway. You really think hiring a PI makes you a good guy? That's creepy, Noah. I didn't follow her. I hired someone because she made me question my sanity. Turns out I was right. She scoffed. Whatever helps you sleep at night. When the door finally shut behind them, the silence hit hard. I spent the rest of the day scrubbing every trace of her out of that apartment. Washed the sheets, dumped her pillow, boxed her forgotten clothes. Then I changed the locks. That night, Tyler came over with beer and his PlayStation. We didn't talk about it, just played until 3 a.m. He knew I needed noise more than advice. But the next morning, the noise came on its own. Sienna's mom went full Facebook warrior. She posted a long status with my name tagged. My daughter is being stalked and harassed by her ex-boyfriend. He hired a private investigator to follow her around and take pictures without her consent. This is abuse. Please share to spread awareness about controlling men. Half the comments were people consoling her. The other half were calling out her bullshit. Then my mom saw it. Now, my mom doesn't usually get involved in my drama. But this time, she went nuclear. She commented right under Patricia's post. Interesting that Patricia considers confirming infidelity stalking. Maybe teach your daughter not to cheat before crying victim. The post exploded. Hundreds of comments, mutual friends taking sides. And for once, I didn't have to defend myself. The truth was out there, and it was loud. But the drama didn't stop. 2 days later, I got a formal letter. Her lawyer demands $3,200 for emotional distress. Removal of all photos and posts. A written apology for defamation. Half of the apartment's security deposit. I actually laughed out loud. My cousin Emily, who's a lawyer, offered to handle it pro bono. Her reply was short and brutal. Miss Hart's claims are baseless. My client obtained photographic evidence through legal means, confirming her infidelity. Truth is a defense against defamation. Additionally, Miss Hart has no legal claim to the security deposit, as she is not on the lease. Any further contact will be considered harassment. That letter shut her down fast. Or so I thought. Around 10 p.m. the next night, my doorbell rang. The security cam showed her, Sienna, sitting on the step, mascara streaked, clearly drunk. I spoke through the intercom. You need to leave. Please, Noah, she slurred. Just 5 minutes. I need closure. You got closure at the Marriott. I'm not leaving until you talk to me. Then I'll call the cops. She didn't move. Just sat there, crying and muttering to herself. My neighbor, Mr. Peterson, texted me. Your ex is outside, ugly crying. Want me to turn on the sprinklers? Bless that man. I told him no, but the image almost made me laugh. Eventually, her friend came to drag her away. Before she left, she slid an envelope under my door for handwritten pages. A confession, apology, and love letter rolled into one. She said I was her soulmate, that Ethan meant nothing, that she was lost and confused. She even listed every good thing she did for me in our relationship, like that somehow canceled out sleeping with another man. The next morning, my notifications went insane again. 73 alerts. She'd gone through 3 years of my social media, liking and commenting on everything. Remember this day? We were so happy. You look so handsome here. Miss my baby. Blocked her again. 10 minutes later, I got a message from a new number. It was Ethan. Bro, we need to talk. What happened was wrong, but you violated her privacy. That's stalking. I'm thinking of pressing charges, unless you take the post down. I forwarded it to Emily. She laughed for a full minute. Then I replied, press charges for what? Hiring a licensed PI? Also, you slept with my girlfriend. We're not having a man-to-man anything. Lose my number. He didn't respond. By the end of that week, I'd learned something important. When people lose control of their narrative, they go crazy trying to get it back. Sienna was unraveling. She showed up at my gym one morning, pretending it was a coincidence. Then again at my favorite coffee shop. Each time, she had some emotional speech ready about forgiveness and real love. Security had to escort her out of my office building when she tried to drop off a letter. Then she crossed the line. I found my car keyed in the parking garage. Deep scratches, like she carved her rage into the paint. The security camera caught her doing it, tears streaming down her face as she whispered, "You did this to us." The repair bill? $2,800. Her mom called the next day. She was emotional. You pushed her too far. Maybe you deserved it. That was it for me. I filed a police report and sent the footage to my insurance company. They'd go after her for damages. Ethan tried again, too. He posted on social media. Sometimes love doesn't follow rules. Sometimes you fall for the wrong person. His girlfriend, apparently he had one, commented right under it. What the hell is this about, Ethan? That post detonated. Turns out, Sienna wasn't the only one cheating. Ethan's girlfriend exposed both of them publicly, tagging their workplaces. He got fired within days. Sienna's job found out too. She'd been using her work email for personal drama. She was put on probation. Rachel, her sister, cut contact completely. Kayla, the best friend who defended her, found out Sienna had been flirting with her boyfriend too. That friendship? Dead. Karma wasn't just poetic, it was surgical. By the end of week 3, the restraining order hearing came up. Sienna actually tried to argue that I was the aggressor, claimed hiring a PI was stalking. The judge barely let her finish before saying, "Ma'am, your ex-boyfriend hired a licensed investigator due to reasonable suspicion of infidelity. You since harassed him, damaged property, and violated boundaries. The order is granted." She burst into tears right there. Her mom shouted that I was heartless. The bailiff had to warn her to calm down. When I walked out of that courthouse, I felt lighter, not happy, but free. That night, I sat on my balcony with a beer, watching the city lights. Tyler texted, "You did the right thing, man." I didn't reply for a while. Then I wrote back, "I know, it just doesn't feel like winning." He said, "Healing never does at first." And he was right. The days after the court hearing felt strangely quiet. No more calls, no more fake apologies, no more chaos at my door. For the first time in months, I woke up to silence, and it felt almost foreign. I went back to work, started eating right again, hitting the gym without scanning the parking lot for a car. My co-workers, who'd whispered for weeks, now looked at me differently, not with pity, but with respect. They'd seen the mess. They watched me keep my composure through it. One morning, I stopped by the cafe where Sienna had once surprised me with coffee during my late-night coding sessions. The same barista who used to greet us smiled when she saw me. "Long time no see, Noah. How have you been?" I smiled back. "Better. A lot better." She nodded knowingly. "Good. You deserve peace." That word stuck with me. Peace. It wasn't something I'd thought much about before. I'd always chased love, success, validation. But peace? Peace felt new. I started running again, the same route Sienna, and I used to take every Sunday. At first, the memories hurt. Every corner reminded me of a laugh, a kiss, a lie. But day by day, the pain dulled. Eventually, the route belonged to me again. One evening, as I was heading home, my phone buzzed with an unknown number. It was a message. "Hey, it's been a while. I just wanted to say thank you for exposing me. I lost a lot, but I needed that wake-up call. I'm in therapy now. I know I hurt you, and I don't expect forgiveness. But I wanted you to know I'm trying to become better." It was signed, Sienna. I stared at the screen for a long time. Part of me wanted to delete it immediately. Another part, the softer part, Felt a strange sense of closure. Not forgiveness. Not yet. But closure. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. Sometimes silence is the loudest answer you can give. That night, I journaled for the first time in years. I wrote down everything. The betrayal, the chaos, the court, the lessons. At the end, I wrote one simple line. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Months passed. The holidays came. My mom invited me home, and it felt good to be around people who loved me without conditions. My dad poured me a drink and said, "You handle that whole thing like a man, not by yelling, by standing your ground." And maybe that's what real strength is. Not revenge, not rage, restraint. In January, Emily, my lawyer cousin, called. "Remember that vandalism report?" "Yeah, what about it?" She took a plea deal. 2 years probation, restitution for the damages, and mandatory counseling. I exhaled. Wow. Emily's tone softened. "You can let it go now, Noah. You already won." But I didn't feel like I'd won anything. It wasn't about that anymore. It was about reclaiming what I lost, my trust in myself. A few weeks later, Tyler dragged me to a mutual friend's birthday party. I almost didn't go. Crowds weren't my thing anymore. But that night changed something. That's where I met Maya. She wasn't loud, flashy, or dramatic. Just easy to talk to, grounded, thoughtful, the kind of person who listened more than she spoke. We spent half the evening talking about music, travel, and stupid childhood stories. She laughed at my jokes, even the bad ones. As I walked to her car, she smiled and said, "You seem like someone who's been through a lot." I chuckled. "Is it that obvious?" She shrugged. "A little, but you don't seem bitter. You just seem wiser." That night, I went home smiling for the first time in forever. Over the next few weeks, Maya and I started seeing each other casually. She never pried into my past, never asked about Sienna, and I didn't volunteer it. Not because I was hiding it, but because it didn't define me anymore. One night, after dinner, she asked softly, "What made you finally walk away from your last relationship?" I thought about it for a long moment before answering. I realized love isn't supposed to make you doubt yourself. It's supposed to make you feel safe. She smiled. "That's rare. Hold on to that." I did. But closure has a funny way of finding you twice. 3 months later, Rachel, Sienna's sister, reached out through Instagram. She sent a long message. "I wanted to say thank you. You saved my sister from herself. She's been sober, in therapy, and working again." She talks about how badly she hurt you. "I'm not asking for you to talk to her. Just wanted you to know she's getting better." I sat there, reading that message over and over. For a moment, I thought about the girl I once loved. Not the liar, not the manipulator, but the version of her before the chaos. The one who danced in my kitchen barefoot. The one who made me believe in forever. And I realized something. I didn't hate her anymore. Hate is heavy. It eats at you. And once I put it down, I finally felt light again. I replied, "I'm glad she's doing better. Tell her I wish her peace." Rachel sent back a heart emoji. That was it. By summer, life looked different. Maya and I went hiking every weekend, tried new coffee places, laughed at old photos of my awkward college days. The past became just that, the past. One evening, as the sun dipped below the skyline, Maya asked, "Do you ever think about her?" I smiled faintly. "Sometimes, but not the way I used to. She's just a chapter one had to read to get here." She nodded, slipped her hand into mine, and said, "Then I'm glad you finished that chapter." So was I. Months later, a mutual friend told me Sienna had moved out of town. New job, new city, new start. And honestly, I hoped she'd make it work. People can change if they want to. I'd seen enough to believe that now. As for me, I started a small side project, writing stories. Real ones, about betrayal, healing, and the hard kind of love that doesn't come easy. People connected with them. Some even said it helped them heal from their own scars. But it doesn't sting anymore. It just reminds me how far I've come. Because the truth is, closure doesn't come from hearing, "I'm sorry." It comes from saying, "I deserve better," and actually meaning it. And I do. Now, every time I look at the city lights from my balcony, beer in hand, I feel something I hadn't felt in a long time. Not love, not revenge. Peace. Pure, earned peace.